Welcome back to the Resale Stack. I'm Jackie, CEO and co-founder of Trendful.
And I'm Miley's Trendful CTO. Today we are diving into a trend that's hard to ignore, how TikTok is becoming a major player in the resale space.
So from thrift haul videos to live shopping on TikTok Shop, we're seeing an entirely new type of reseller emerge, and it's changing how resale operates. In many ways, it's kind of the modern version of QVC or HSN, except now anyone can go live, build a following, and move inventory fast.
Yeah, so TikTok isn't just a marketing channel anymore. It's becoming a full-blown marketplace. Sellers are skipping traditional platforms and using TikToks as their storefront.
Yeah, and I've noticed with our own merchants their success with live selling using TikTok. So it's really amazing to see how the landscape has changed and social media has kind of moved towards that avenue of where you sell product live through your social accounts like TikTok.
Yeah, people like it's selling a product and selling an experience because you join a community who likes the same type of product that you do. So for our merchants, it's usually luxury goods, luxury handbags, and actually it gives a level of trust because you see the merchants, you can see the product live, see the different angles, and how it works with our merchants is that they will respond to any question live. So you have question about the measurement of the bag, if it's gonna fit your wallet, if it's gonna fit your laptop, and things like that. And merchants can just respond that in an instant.
I think it also simplifies, like in the past for merchants, they would receive requests through like their online website about questions about sizing and everything. But since you're live selling, you have that community right in front of you where you can respond directly to their questions. It kind of simplifies any questions they may have about, is my laptop going to fit in this bag? Or how many can I fit my Chanel lipstick in this tiny little bag? So it's really a really great and powerful tool to sell product to people.
Yeah, definitely they can alleviate any support that they might bring to their customers in other times in that, like, I don't know what's the usual um, session length for a live. I don't know if it's around 20 minutes. Sometimes maybe merchants go to an hour, but they can just alleviate all of the support that they do other times within that short of a session and respond to all of those questions. And as well, it's an opportunity for them to show different products. So they will put at front of the live maybe products that customers might have missed on their website.
So I don't know if they had this in France for you growing up, but in the US, I know people will know like QVC and HSN. It's was like this live home shopping network is what HSN is like called. And I remember my mom having it on the background, and it's where they would display product on your TV and people could call in and ask questions about that product, or they could even buy that product by calling in. And I feel like in a way, you know, I feel like in a way, TikTok shop and live selling is just a reiteration of that, but through your mobile phone.
Yeah, definitely made much easier to connect and to buy. We did have that in France, and I think it might still exist. It was called téléachat. Um, and I actually watched it as a kid because there was nothing else on TV, so I was just numbing my mind on that. Not great. But TikTok is made so much better because now you can interact, you can leave and come back at any time. It's just made easy.
Yeah, I think the community that it brings for resellers is really amazing. And we do know quite a few merchants that have kind of gone viral using TikTok too and have kind of made a name for themselves by being a live seller. So I think that's really amazing for businesses as well.
Yeah, it's definitely amazing. I think that for those merchants that put themselves out there on the TikTok lives, it takes you have to be courageous. Because I remember talking to one of our merchants that was actually saying that you have to put yourself out there and just be brave because the first live you don't know how it's gonna be. You are gonna be confronted to your community, but some might not necessarily approve of what you're selling or the way you are presenting the product, and always there will always be some haters, but you have to ignore those and just keep going, be able to respond to customers fast. And it can be scary, but you just have to go for it and you will get better as you are doing it as well.
I think the other interesting thing is that the entire sales funnel is happening in basically a 60-second clip or however long your live stream is with, as we said, real-time engagement. And also, it's also creating a sense of urgency that is not seen through stories or through just your website as well.
Yeah, right. It's true because it's a bit like it's not an auction. You could do it as like an auction, but you're showing a product to a community of maybe 100, 1,000 people at the same time. And it's like someone is going to buy it first. If you're still hesitating buying it, it's one luxury good. So there is only one of that type of item on the website, specifically in this color condition. So yeah, the sense of urgency is real for pre-owned designer goods.
So something we're also seeing when sellers use TikTok to build their own brand from selling resale items, it's storytelling, style, logistics, all rolled into one, especially during live selling sessions where audiences interaction drives sales in real time.
Yeah, as I was like mentioning, it definitely like the sense of community that comes with those live videos, I know is very important from watching our merchants that do that from through TikTok or even other platforms, of even their own platforms. They publish that on their own websites. Usually they really try to create a sense of intimacy as well when you're shopping.
Yeah, it's definitely a different way, as we mentioned, to reselling. Like they are able to do more things with their audience. Like they could do like pack an order with me videos, or they could do unboxing videos about new inventory that has arrived into their shop. So it's much more, it has much more the feeling of like a one-on-one session with customers because you're able to reach them directly through their phones, and you don't have to have necessarily a actual like showroom or office for people to come and see these items anymore.
Yeah, you remove the intermediaries, either through an online shop where you would have someone helping you with your order, or in a showroom where you will just have the selling person. You go directly, generally even to the owners of the business. So yeah, it definitely feels more intimate and one-on-one shopping. And they bring you with those behind the scene videos, which makes you feel more like, okay, I'm supporting a business also by shopping there. I'm supporting a person, I'm supporting a business. I like their idea of doing business, their life, like videos as well.
Do you do you think that like because of this new way of selling, it also kind of changes how fast things sell too? Since you have in a live shopping experience, you may have, I don't know, several units of of item that you're selling in one session, it goes way faster than just putting it on your website and waiting for people to come to your website to sell.
That's true. I think that some merchants don't even sometimes bother for actually resell merchants of luxury goods, don't even bother listing an item on their website. They will be like, this is a drop. Be ready, come live. This is a drop of 20, 50 items, and you will be able to buy then. And usually they have a big spike of sales during those live streams.
And the good thing is that if someone doesn't get what they want through the live selling experience, they would then maybe go to the merchant's website and try to find something similar that they have on their website, I would think.
Yeah, you can drive traffic. You go through TikTok and then you drive traffic to your website.
Yeah.
So it's such a big marketing and sales tool at the same time.
And speaking of tools, that's kind of like the point, since I would think sales move faster with live selling. There's kind of tools that merchants using TikTok need to have.
Yeah, they need tools to support that, especially how you mentioned it, when live selling moves fast. The pricing tools, the inventory tools, so most of them are still relying on spreadsheet and intuition. So they usually merchants will have maybe their spreadsheet with some pricing ID, not even all complete, or try to use their knowledge that they have, but there are better tools out there.
Yeah, this is kind of where I would say Trendful comes in. So as live selling for the resale market continues to grow, whether it's with, TikTok Shop, whatnot, or Instagram, there comes the challenge of having to catalog, price, and describe items at scale.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, Trendful comes in. Trendful provides a lot of pricing data for resale merchants, especially for luxury handbags and watches. So that's something that even merchants can use while live selling. Live selling, it's a very fast selling avenue, so you have to be able to find pricing information just in one click. And so with Trendful, we actually have a price database where you can search for fair market values for thousands of handbags by either typing in the name. And now we also have Trendful Vision available. So you can just snap a picture of an item, find the item, and get pricing information. It just takes seconds. That's something that we believe can revolutionize live selling as well for resale merchants.
Yeah, because there really is that back end challenge of, being able to have the right product information, the right pricing information, and then also having that SEO information as well to be able to describe the item.
Yeah, exactly. It's not only pricing information, there are other items description that you would need to be able to describe the product to your community, or even as part of the marketing tool that TikTok is, be able to boost the views of your videos. So you can use it different ways. And as an idea, you can get a fair market value with Trendful. For example, you have a Louis Vuitton Everfull tote bag, damier, that you are selling. It's in a great condition. You can get the fair market value for that condition, but as well, you can get different price points at what it's selling at on the website. So you can be, look, guys, I'm selling that item for $1,500 when it sells for $1,800 on Fashion File or Rebag. And you can use that to show that not only you're doing good business with me, but I'm trying to provide you the best price for the best items.
Yeah, because I think transparency is very key in a scenario like this. So if you can be more transparent about your pricing than another company, then those people are more likely to want to buy with you. They may want to even sell their items to you and create that circular flow of buyers becoming sellers as well.
Yeah, and the idea is that so Trendful has the price database. We also have a catalog API for merchants that might want to create their own solution, but we help with cataloging, so getting product information, description, pricing. And so the idea is that probably merchants can go much more easily onto those live streams. They don't have to spend hours of preparation, preparing or curating those 20, 50 items. They can just select items that they like and then on the live, take a picture of it, have all the product information, and just respond to people, show people the bag, how that fits. That part is still important, but we can help those merchants just make it so easy.
Yeah, and we also have our catalog API that can help larger platforms. It could help, aggregators or even, big resellers scale depending on use case. And we can provide pricing insights, or as Miley was also mentioning, catalog, product information to enable accurate listings. So it really can help support the speed and, as we mentioned, transparency needed for transactions that are happening live.
Yeah, this is really exciting, and obviously this is a very fast-paced way of selling and marketing your product. So it doesn't come without frictions. You might have returns, you might have counterfeits, and a lack of buyer protection could create really real issues with those methods of selling.
Yeah, I think that's why authentication is really key. And I know that like TikTok has partnered with major companies like Entropy and Real Authentication in the past to address the authentication aspect for people who are live selling.
Yeah, it's really a critical challenge, and those partnerships are great. But it's not usually the whole universal or standardized way across sellers. So there is still like room for improvement here.
Yeah, it also depends on like platform policies as well. And also needing for trust building tech also to happen. So that's like digital passports, or more, as we mentioned, pricing transparency with what should items be priced at in real time as well.
Yeah, there's like really different points, but this is really improving fast. As part of the resale market, some of those authentication companies have built like big reputations and very great tool. And as well on the pricing side, Trendful has really, now we are backed by years of data scraping and millions of data points. Actually, it's over 400 million data points that we have collected over the past 4 years. So this is getting better.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I think that the demand is only going to continue to grow. And so even with these partnerships TikTok and other live selling platforms have, they still will need like a broader infrastructure layer of support. So even the live selling platforms themselves need to have some sort of resale operations type of support. So that support could look like pricing suggestions for merchants, or even like naming convention suggestions for merchants who are selling pre-owned items, or even being able to suggest to merchants like descriptions for items they are trying to sell as well, because there is a lot of discrepancies and out there about what an item actually is. I mean, you see it every day when you are digging into like the pricing of items. You see how across the board people will name things in such different ways. There will be no like one description for an item. So even when you think of these big companies like TikTok or whatnot or Instagram that offer live selling, they need to have some support for their for their resellers that are doing these programs.
Yeah, definitely. You have to think that when you create a listing, you have to be as specific as you can be, especially with the price point of luxury goods. Because first, you want to be findable easily. If you're not specific enough, people are not going to find you. They are not going to find your Louis Vuitton Info Photo Damier. You need to simplify the search, and that's work on the seller listing something very specifically, and also the platform TikTok improving their search features. So that comes together, but as well, by doing so, you will also improve the customer trust. When they read your listing, they will see you as an expert of the resale industry in luxury goods rather than just like a random seller that want to make some bucks.
Yeah. I think that's why we're always thinking about what infrastructure is needed behind the scenes to make resale seamless, especially in real-time selling formats. So that's, I think, something that really interests us as well.
Yeah, we'll always want to know how we can make it better. So really keeping an eye on all the resale marketplaces experimenting with live selling, whether it's new platforms like Whatnot or TikTok Shop or other legacy platforms that are adapting fast.
Yeah, I think that was a great conversation for today. I am always so impressed by resale merchants doing their live selling and really having the guts to go off to put themselves out there to sell items. That didn't exist when we were a resale company in the past. That really was like, I think, like a COVID convention, right? Like where people were at home and it was like, how do I sell to people when they're at home? And so that's really born about that time. In 2019, when we were a resale company, that didn't exist.
Yeah, COVID definitely changed everything in commerce, but it changed a lot for the resale industry, for sure.
Well, if you're a seller using TikTok, especially live selling, you can always DM us on Instagram at Trendful Inc. or share your experience.
And if you are a TikTok-like social commerce platform that has live selling or even a large resale platform, just check out our catalog API. We would love to talk.
Bye.
Bye.